Water table water is the only water which is available for us to drink. But that water is also getting contaminated. How does that happen? How does that happen, children? How does that happen?
I think they are polluting oceans and seas now, that water that mixed into other water.
Sorry, okay. What are they doing? Could you repeat?
They are polluting ocean, seas, lakes, everything now. That water mixes up with underground water because they are so deep now.
Okay, okay. How do you think oceans are getting polluted again?
Because of industrial pollution.
Industrial pollution. All the industrial effluents are let out to the small stream which is nearby. 1 second here. Small stream nearby. That water gets into the rivers and rivers will get finally goes into oceans, right? That's how it's getting affected. But what does sea has to do with the groundwater table?
Because seas are very deep now and there are chances that they can mix in groundwater.
Okay. Can I draw a picture? Thank you so much. Please sit down. Please sit down. This is a sea. Okay. Seven hundred kilometers away from sea, you have got a place. Let us talk. This is my place. Okay. We'll tell the name as something. We'll just say it. MPL. Okay. So this place is not nearby to sea. It's somewhere around 700 kilometers away from sea. And there is no huge there is no huge water resource that is present right next to this place. This is entirely a dry land. Only water that they depend upon is the rainwater, and that fills up in a lake, and that lake water is not useful for drinking. Okay, so they have got huge resources. I mean, this is the water table. Okay. Now the farmer has put a board, farmer or any household person has put a board in and he wants to take out this water. He is taking out the water. Now what happens is this person is affected. He is affected with some disease. Okay, and now when he goes to doctor, let me finish off my scenario, okay? He goes to doctor and doctor tells that disease is because of water that you are drinking. Now this person gets completely baffled, he gets completely confused. He'll be like, how come the water that I am drinking is not safe for me? I'm not staying nearby to any seas. As per Rohit has said, sea water gets polluted. And as per Ramit Sujan told that water is mixed up with lead and cadmium and mercury, all these heavy metals, right? Yes. So people are getting baffled. So how can you explain that person that the water that he is drinking is polluted? Please raise your hands, all those who wants to answer. Yes, Tejasvi. Let her give a chance, then I'll ask you.
When the pollutants get mixed with the air, and that air evaporates fire and causes rain, it gets infiltrated and goes into the water table.
Okay.
And when that water is being drunk by people, they get affected with diseases.
Okay, very good. Please sit down. Yourself?
And even the factories, they're leaving some chemicals underground.
Underground?
Yeah, with some pipes. So, as air pollution and water pollution are increasing.
But let me make it clear, children. Government has passed rules that they are not supposed to let the effluents into the ground. They are supposed to let the effluents into a stream which is nearby. They cannot let it onto the ground like that.
But
No.
still some factories are doing it.
Okay, fine. We will take that into consideration. Thank you. Please sit down. Yes, anyone else wants to add up? Yes, you were about to say something.
I think the deposits which are underground like chemicals, they react, or else these chemicals are there now, which are heavy chemicals. They didn't get infiltrated properly and they can mix.
Okay, thank you. Please sit down. Children, have you all heard about this thing? Fertilizers. We use a lot of fertilizers to cultivate our crops, to have more yield, right? So what happens to fertilizers afterwards? Would they be washed out? Yeah, few of them would be washed out. Then what happens? As your friend Tejasvi told, when rain comes down, it takes all those chemicals along with it and they get infiltrated, and at the end they would end up in your water table. Okay, then this water, if you are taking it out and you are using it for their purposes, for our purposes, that's how people are getting infected or people are getting affected because of that. Did you all understand?
Yes.
Is it clear? This is one way, and the other way is, as Tejasvi said, the pollutants which are present in the air, because of rain they comes down, and because soil it acts as a filter, all those heavy metals they come down and they mix up with the groundwater table, and that's how this table gets polluted again. There are several different ways of getting this table polluted. Are you understanding? So which is the best way to eradicate all of those? How can you get rid of all of that? How can you get rid of all of that? Yeah?
Using natural fertilizer.
Please stand up.
By using natural fertilizer.
Natural fertilizers in the sense?
Manure.
Manure. Right? Please sit up. Thank you so much. Manure. So what do you call that? When you use manure to cultivate your croplands, what do you call that?
Organic
process?
farming.
Very good. Organic farming. Okay, the whole picture is about healthy living. The entire picture is about healthy living. We don't know why we got corona. We don't know why people of Eluru are suffering so much. We don't know why people are getting all these things. It is because of the lifestyle that we are having every day. In the mornings, you get up early in the morning, you will be in a rush. You won't get time, you won't get even 5 minutes time to sit and think. You won't get 5 minutes time to sit and even know about anything that is new to you. We are in this routine circle where we are not getting time for anything. My suggestion to you people is, please take time for yourselves. At least give yourself some 15 minutes of time every day. Sit in a quiet place, close your eyes and meditate. That is very important. Okay, and also maintain a very healthy lifestyle. You should exercise, whatever time it is. Maybe if you are not getting time in the mornings, do it in the evenings. After you go home at 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock, like that, go for a walk. Go for a walk, or else do exercise, strenuous exercises. That's the way you will keep yourself healthy. If not, see how people are suffering. How they are all suffering. And you know children, by 2050, the statistics tells that by 2050, each and every citizen of India will be suffering with diabetes. Each and every. And I don't know how far you people know about diabetes or not. If a person is affected by diabetes, the person will get all sorts of chronic diseases. Like it will affect the heart, it will affect all the organs of the body. The person may get heart attack, he may get stroke, brain stroke. The person will lose eyesight, the person may lose his limbs. It's all because of diabetes. Diabetes is such a chronic disease, it will affect each and every organ of the body. I'm not scaring you children. Are you getting scared? Are you people getting scared? Seriously, are you getting scared? Oh, this is just an awareness. This is how the world is. This is how the world is. And again, what happens? You have to go to doctor and doctor will write you a lifelong list of medicines which you cannot stop using. If we stop using those medicines, that's it. We may survive for 5 days mostly. After that again the condition grows back. So to come out of all these things, what do we need? We need to change our lifestyle. We need to change our lifestyle. We need to think and eat what we are eating. Each and everything nowadays that we are eating is adulterated. What do you understand by the word adulterated? Adulteration. Mixing with some other thing which is pretty similar to that. Okay? Brick powder is added to chili powder. Brick powder. Because both are in the same color almost. Right? And papaya seeds, they are added to mustard, black pepper. black pepper, papaya seeds, because they both look similar. These kind of adulterations are happening. Doctor may say that you should use this refined oil, you should use that refined oil, this thing, that thing and all. But do they really know which is the proper thing to use? Does anyone really know which we have to use and which we shouldn't be using? Anyone? Yes, children? Do you know what is good for health and what is not good for health? Can you say? You may say apple is very good for health. The other girl will tell, no ma'am, apple is not good for health. Mango is good for health. The other one will come up and tell, no ma'am, mango is not at all good for health. Mango is entirely citric acid. It will affect again the digestive system. The person will have acidity. They will say, no ma'am, grapes are good. Right? The world is like that. The world is becoming like that. You never know what is good for health. You never know what is not good for health. Okay? So what we are saying, you people, is however you are doing your way of living and your way of doing things, all these things should be in a proper way. You should have a healthy lifestyle. Okay? Excuse me, children.
Ma'am, I can't hear you, ma'am.
Sorry, dear. You can't hear me? Sorry, could you be louder? Am I audible now? This doesn't have anything to do with this, ma'am?
No, there.
Where can I adjust? Here. Here she's talking. Okay. Yeah, can you hear me now? I don't know. Someone said that. Yeah. So as I was telling you, it's very, very important for us to maintain proper lifestyle. See, you people may like burgers. How many of you like burgers, pizzas, then that, what is it called? The finger chips, potato finger chips, all these things. I know you all like it, but you are not raising your hands because sir is around here. Have I right? Have I right? Come on now, be truthful. There's nothing wrong in that. That's how the life is. To be very truthful, I like pizza. Very truthfully speaking, I like pizza. But I make sure I'm not having it regularly. I'll have it once in 3 months. I know that it is very bad for health. I know that. And I love having Coke. Coca-Cola. Who doesn't like soda? Everyone likes. Still, we have to cut down on all these things, children. You might have seen YouTube videos, Coca-Cola. Have you seen, there's one video where a man, he boils the entire bottle of Coca-Cola and what he comes up with in the end? What does it turn into? Yeah, it becomes tar. The tar that is used to lay roads. It becomes that. You should know all these things. And that tar we are drinking. Aram se. Sipping each and every, enjoying each and every sip that you are taking. Right? So think what we are doing. You're not kids. You know what you are doing. You should know. Right? If your mama gives you some vegetable, eat this vegetable, beta, it is very good for your health. What do you say? I don't want this. I want that one which is being shown in the TV, the burger, the pizza. Right? We do that. We all do that. Maggie. Not good. Eat everything that is healthy and organic. Eat as many raw fruits and vegetables as you can. But before doing that, you have to wash them properly. Because these people, you can soak them in water before eating. At least 1 hour before eating, you can soak them in water. Then wash it cleanly and then you can eat. Why? Because these pesticides and all are used. You never know what kind of environment those things are coming from. Right? So it is very much necessary. B section, right? Go upstairs. So it's very much necessary for you children to wash them properly before eating. Understood? Clear? Shall we move into our lesson? So till where have we done in our class? Rule number 2 we have done till, right? Yes. Can you tell me what does the first rule tells you about? Yourself, girl.
First rule tells that when the subject is singular, the verb should also be singular.
Okay.
That's the first rule.
Can you explain it for the third sentence.
My father is third person, it is a subject, and does not is the verb. Does. Does is my father is singular, so the does is also singular.
But he said smoke is a verb. Smoke is not a verb. It's an object. Smoke is object. Okay. Simple present tense is generalization. Sun rises in east.
It's a general.
It's a general sentence. You generally say that. You generally every day when you get up in the morning, you see sun rising in the east. Right? That's the generalization. Now, my father does not smoke. That's a generalization. He never smokes, man. I haven't seen him smoking. So I'll say this sentence. My father does not smoke. Okay? She goes for a walk daily. Every day she goes for a walk. It's a general sentence. Suppose if one day she is not going for a walk out of all 30 days, that is a that is a abnormal thing. Normally, every day she goes for a walk. Then a cow eats hay. If it doesn't eat hay, what does it eat? Does it eat this hay? No. It eats hay. That's a general thing. So whatever sentence you generalize the sentence and says, there it should be simple present tense, and if at all the noun of that sentence is plural, you should use the verb in plural form. If the noun of the sentence is singular, you should use the verb as singular. And when the verb is plural, you can add es or es to it to make it as plural. Singular. To make it as singular. Understood, everyone? A is not a subject. A is a article. Then cow is the subject. Eats is the verb. Hay is the object. That's the sentence. Are you understanding, Venkatesh? You can, if you are not able to sit there properly, you can sit in that chair, the chair which is here, there. Now don't lean onto the wall. Come this side. Put your bag on that side. Yeah, back straight. Yes. Now A is article here, cow is subject, eats is verb, hay is object. Now because cow is singular, verb should be singular also. Okay. Now why is it eats and how can we say that is a plural? That's a plural, right? How do we say a noun into plural? Suppose if here cow is the singular, as I told you, cows is plural in noun form. Am I right, children? But in verbs, it is exactly the opposite. Okay, where s is there, that is the singular form. Where there is no s, that is the plural form. If at all the sentence is cows dash hay, what will you write the verb as? Eat, not eats, because eat is the plural form of verb. Eats is the singular form of verb. Okay, so that's how it is. Now rule number 2. What does rule number 2 says? Wherever you get one off, if the word one off is there, then what should happen to the verb? Should verb be plural or singular? Singular. Why the verb should be singular? You are talking about one thing from the group. Okay, one of the students in the class is not having book. Did I say are not having book or is not having book? I said is not having book because I am talking about only one student, the student who did not get the book. Understood, children? One of my books cover is torn. How many books am I talking about?
Single.
One book. So I am using the verb is, which is again singular form. Understood, everyone?
Yes.
Clear? Yes. Now rule number 3. The third rule says that when subject and verb are separated by a clause or a long phrase, the verb must agree with the actual subject. Now, what do you understand by clause and what do you understand by phrase?
Who is very good?
Who is very good is the
clause.
clause. Okay. Then, wait. Who is irritated today is a clause. Then, that much complex. Okay, I have a very, the chota most kind of brain. So for my P brain, you explain only in this sentence, which is a clause and which is a phrase.
That one is clause.
This is clause.
Yes.
Okay, then how can you say that is a clause?
Because the aunt is irritated today. There is one. And who is irritated today?
Please sit down. Please sit down. Thank you so much. Yes.
Ma'am, who is irritated today is not completed. Sentence is continuing. It does not give
But
any.
isn't this a sentence? This is a sentence, right? If this is not a sentence,
Ma'am, it does not. The aunt is the clause, ma'am. Who is irritated.
the aunt is the clause.
It does not give any meaning, so it does not complete it and does not give any.
So clauses don't give any meaning to you. Then phrases,
Is usually very good.
they are usually very good. Or you are saying is usually very good from this sentence is phrase.
Yes.
Okay. I thought you are saying phrases are usually very good. Okay, we'll put it as P. Now tell me why that is phrase.
Because it is completing that sentence. It's giving a meaning to the before sentence.
If it is not there, the aunt who is irritated today, is it not a complete sentence? Is it not a complete sentence, or it is a complete sentence, or it's not a complete sentence? How many of you say it is a complete sentence? How many of you say it's a complete sentence? Okay, please sit down, Prisha. Thank you so much. Sir, yes.
If aunt is third person, I am changing to the second person by showing the auntie that aunt is that who is irritated today. If aunt is third person, she is going that I am changing to the second person by showing auntie that the auntie who is irritated today. So it is complete.
So it's a complete sentence. Okay, thank you. Please sit down. It's not a complete sentence. Tejasvi, tell me why it's not a complete sentence.
The word who is removed, it becomes a complete sentence.
It is a complete sentence, but if who is there, then
It is continuing, it is saying something else.
it has to have something else, right? That's why it's not a complete sentence. Please sit down. Thank you so much. Now, children, who can tell me the exact definition of what a sentence is? What is a sentence? Yeah.
A sentence should have subject, verb and object. Then only it is a complete sentence.
That much. Subject, verb, and object, right?
A general sentence.
Okay. Please sit down. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Sit down. Yeah. Hey eats cow. I have got subject, I have got object, I have got a verb.
Meaning should also.
Meaning should also be there. Meaningful thing which has subject, verb and object. And it should have a meaning of its own. Okay? And sentence, what all can we use to make a sentence, children? What all? Okay, other than subject and all, what else do you need? Can you make sentence with two clauses? Two different clauses, can they add up to become a sentence? Or they can't? They can. Yes, in the next class, I want you people to come up with the differences between phrases and clauses. Okay, thank you so much, children.